We have checks and balances in place. Campaigns are pretty much touched every day in some way, shape, or form. And we have regular check-ins, like we have like a tracking system and reporting system. So we always have all of the metrics, those goal metrics that we are tracking right there. Anything that is going in the wrong direction, we can see it and then not react to it, but even be proactive in realigning it to where the goal needs to be. And that you just need to do that because you get a lot of quick results with PPC. You can get quick results. You don't want to look at quick results. You want to have a long-term strategy. Like, that's just putting that out there. You don't want to just look at the short-term results, but you can get results pretty quickly with the ads. But you also want to make sure that you refine and adjust and monitor everything that you do very regularly. And not just like, one of the things that we do is we don't start, completely new account or new campaigns on a Friday, because we know we're not gonna be able to monitor it as much over the weekend as we can when we started on a Monday. So we have rules like that in place, besides our system and our dashboards, how we track it, that prevent us from, going anywhere outside of those guardrails. So yes, it's very important. Refinement, adjustment, every time, all the time. You cannot just set up a campaign and leave it and forget about it and think that it's running.
I think that a lot of brands that either try to do it by themselves or leave it to a lower cost agency or computer solution tend to get distracted by big vanity metrics or do a set it and forget it and don't pay enough attention to it. What's really dangerous is when they achieve some level of success with that method. So they think they're doing fine, but then they could be doing so much better, and they're wasting a lot of money. See that all the time. You could flood your metrics right now for each one of our brands and get everybody on Amazon to see the product. Doesn't mean anybody's going to buy it. So
when you set up the campaign and you think, it's working, I've seen that in every single time that there's this one keyword or this keyword cluster that is really working, and you put everything behind it and you feel safe and you got this. And then the next year, it just doesn't work anymore. And not at all. So you have to, you cannot just rely on a few things, on a few keywords, on a few campaigns. You always have to adjust. You always have to see what the marketplace is doing. You always have to look at the search volumes, what the trends are. It can be seasonality trends. There can be trends like, we saw in the last 3 years when more people are going online and you get that influx of traffic. But you have to be right there when it happens and not just reactive like a month later. So, oops, what are we going to do now?
Right. And I'm always wary of that. Seems like every time I run a campaign and I flip the switch on, I get that first spike of metrics and I'm like, yeah, this is doing good. But you can't just rely on that to continue in that fashion. You have to keep checking in on it regularly. I think that's great that we have that rule that we don't start campaigns typically at the end of the week so that we can monitor it more closely.